You'll be on before it looks like we're on, so just be aware. We're on Facebook. Let's start recording this thing too. The voice from the above, please. That's our recording in progress. All right. This is now loud. Okay. I think we're okay. Am I too loud in your earphones there? All right, because I can turn that down. So that's not a problem. Oh, I'm turning it up. Yeah, that would help if I went in the right direction. Hey everybody, it's a really stormy Wednesday. So we decided to do Whiskey Wednesday Gone Wild with Mezcal. That's sort of like Mexican whiskey, isn't it? Jamie's here with us tonight, and she is our MS Walker resident expert on all things from Mexico. So she's going to lead us through this motley crew through, and we're going to see if we can actually drink some mezcals and sort of go through the difference between mezcal and tequila, which is sometimes people get a little confused, right? And we're going to see if we can sort of clarify that.
Yeah.
And you guys get to be the guinea pigs for that. You guys all set for that? They're like,
Yes.
uh-huh. Does it mean we get to drink? Uh-huh. All right, so let's go for it. Jamie, okay. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
About me?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. Well, if we want.
How'd you get into mezcal? How'd you get into Mexican spirits?
So, I worked in the restaurant business for almost 20 years.
That's really weird. You're only like about 20 years old. That's weird.
Well, thank you so much. No, most of my adult life, I've been working in the restaurant industry. And then, during COVID, I was already like a little burned out during COVID, kind of got burned out and decided to do something else. But I love the industry. I always loved the food and beverage industry. And I thought about doing something with wine. So I was like, let me just take some time. And I actually worked in retail for a little bit.
Okay.
My idea was to study, sort of work under the wine manager who is like basically, sommelier level knowledge. And they were like, I love that. We love this idea. However, right at this moment, we really need help in spirits. So I was like, okay, cross training's great. Like, absolutely.
The more you know, the better you are.
The more you know, the better you are. So I said, let's start with this. And so I worked in that for a little bit, and all of a sudden the spirits buyer took off and moved to Florida, and they were like, we really need you to do this.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'll do it for a while. We'll see how it goes. But then when you find yourself in the position of, people are bringing you things every day basically to try. And it before
I'm a buyer and they bring me things.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah. But so before I knew it, I had tasted, nearly every agave spirit on the market. And I started to completely just fall and totally in love. And there was something for it that was even more stoked, even more of a passion than I had for wine. And I just kind of started going down this rabbit hole and learning all I could about it. And I had been doing that for, I don't know, a little over a year and a half, 2 years about. And then MS Walker, our big family distributor here in Massachusetts, who of course I was already working with at the store.
Right.
All of a sudden was looking for a Mexican spirits brand ambassador. And I was like, hello.
Great.
Yeah. And they knew me already,
Yes,
so it was a great fit. And I had actually knew most of the brands that I work with already because I had brought them in the store. And I had met the brand owners already. It was kind of a great thing. And so, I mean, I love saying that, I took the job for the brands because I already believed in them. And it's been a thing of pride for me, especially because they're just such great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool. All right. So now we start looking at, tequila is getting really big and people are loving the fact. Yeah. Yeah. And they're loving the fact of tequila. And all of a sudden this sort of little known offshoot that is really tequila's father.
Right.
Starts popping up. And then there's like, what's this mezcal stuff? And so explain a little bit what mezcal actually is and how does it differ from tequila?
Yeah. Well, so I like to start by saying we have mezcal as a cultural category, but then we also have mezcal as a governmentally regulated category. So as a cultural category, all agave spirits are technically mezcal. The word mezcal means cooked agave spirit. So at one time, everything that was an agave distillate was called mezcal.
Even that stuff from tequila.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I know tequila, the governmentally regulated category of tequila is actually a much more modern category than
Right.
I think people realize. So then we have the governmentally regulated categories. And those are very different things and much more specific. So first of all, there are three basically like large things that differentiate tequila and mezcal. So first of all, we talk about agave. So with tequila, you can only make it from one type of agave. It's called Blue Weber or Weber Azul. Literally only one
That
type
means
of
blue
agave.
in Spanish for
Yes,
those
yeah,
of you who
yeah.
don't know.
But if you see that on the bottle, that's what that means. It's one type of agave, the hundreds of thousands of brands. I just heard that there's a tequila brand every day now,
Hmm.
like a new tequila brand
Wow.
every single day. It's nuts. So every single one of those, one type of agave. Whereas with mezcal, we actually make mezcal from, I think documented, it's 40 plus at this point types of agave you can make mezcal from. There are like about 12 that are most commonly used, but there
Let
are,
me ask you a question then.
yeah,
Can you make mezcal out of blue agave?
yes, yes, you can.
So it includes that sort of only like that very narrow tequila agave, but you can use that too. Because the
Yeah,
process is a
because
little bit different too, right?
yeah. So the first thing is agave, right? The
Yeah.
second thing we talk about is location. So with tequila, about 85% of tequila comes from the state of Jalisco. Um, there are four other little territories
Yeah.
basically in other states that you can also make tequila, but they're basically in the same region of Mexico. With mezcal, it can be one of 10 states. They just added Sinaloa to the list. They
Easy for you to say.
was nine for a really long time. Um, but this spans the entire country of Mexico. So this is where we start thinking about tequila or mezcal as more in like a wine mentality, right? Because
And also
okay,
more cultural because
yeah,
now you're talking about everybody. Like you're
yeah,
sort of including like a bigger group
right,
of
with
people
all
from
different
Mexico, right?
types of, yeah, all different,
Traditions
exactly.
and even like climates, subclimates, microclimates,
Exactly.
right?
I mean, we talk about terroir, right? Or exactly climates or traditions, or even in the same state where they're using the same agave, you might have two families that are doing different traditions. But with mezcal, it's much more varied because you are all over the country of Mexico. And then the third thing that you just brought up, which is really also really important, and I think what a lot of people taste in their glass, is the difference in process. So with tequila, most agaves across the board are cooked in some type of an oven, right? So, I mean, yeah, they've done sort of taste tests. You'd say the best ones are more like a brick oven type of thing. There are really, really bad industrial ones where they don't even cook the agave. They hit it with this high pressure acid wash to remove the fruit from the fibers. Very bad. But so yeah, so it's usually some kind of an oven, autoclave, brick
Yep.
oven type of thing. With mezcal, almost across the board, definitely not all of them, but mostly the agaves are still cooked very traditionally as they would have been hundreds of years ago, which is to cook agaves over a fire or in a pit roasted,
Okay.
basically. So that's what most people will taste in their glass. Most mezcal will have at least a little bit of smoke. I do find, and we'll go through this, and you guys can tell me what you think. But I do find that like when you start tasting, better quality mezcals, you notice or you don't notice the smoke as much.
Okay.
It's not as
But it's like it's
prevalent.
almost like because you're cooking on in a pit, it's almost like a barbecue smoke,
Byproduct of the
right?
process.
Right.
That's it. If that's the main thing you taste, you should be asking yourself, what are we covering up here?
Okay. All right. All right. Before they start getting too restless, and
Yeah.
like we don't want we like our lives. Um, let's start with the first product and see where you're going. You can tell me exactly what we're tasting here.
Yes. So this is our Peloton. So we have,
A couple different brands up
bring
here. We're
it
gonna
to them.
try some different things tonight, right?
Exactly. The first one is Peloton de la Muerte. That means the Squadron of Death. It's all about the Mexican Revolution. So this brand's
As a cherry, happy
Hey,
folks.
wait.
The Squadron of Death. Oh yes.
The Tune of Death. Yes. This
You've lived up to every hype that every tequila and mezcal brand wants. It's the rebel, that rebel hype. I mean, the king of England's not drinking, mezcal, right? Pretty much, right? We can pretty much
I
safely.
mean,
It's
maybe
probably
now.
gin or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
now, but you know, it's like one of those type of things. It's like it's a spirit of the people,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
of death squadrons, I guess. But, all right.
This Peloton has been around for a little over 20 years now, but they've made mezcal for the entire life of the brand, which of course they're still doing. But this is our first venture into tequila. So this is our very first and only tequila at this point. It's a beautiful, I would say a little bit higher proof Blanco from
Yeah,
the
46% ABV.
from the
Lisa,
valleys of Jalisco.
46%. That
Um,
was Lisa's next question. Just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Don't worry. I would have said Lisa. So this is it's a really, really great example of what we would call a lowland Blanco. So in Jalisco, we talk about highland tequila and lowland tequila.
Mhm.
Technically lowlands, even though it's still above sea level, but that's another story. But yeah, so what I love about this is that it's a little overproof, right? So
Yeah.
you still get that like nice round richness, almost like a sweetness to it, but it's also got that valley quality to it, which is usually a little more funky, a little more earth, a little more minerals.
Yeah, this is not like a typical tequila that you would have either, too. I don't want to say I don't want to say I don't want to say rougher, but it's more agricultural
Yeah, yeah. I
in
mean, I
its
think
taste, right?
of
It's not refined. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if I'm not saying it correctly, but
I mean,
but
yeah.
it's got more depth. It's not something light. It's not something that you would just be you'd put this into something, you would still taste it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's big on flavor. It's
absolutely.
but it's got a lot of big flavors.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think a lot of the sort of more like pretty well respected brands now, you'll see a lot of them are coming out with a high proof Blanco in their lineup. And I think that's for like the budding aficionados because, or mezcal drinkers. Honestly, like my collection consists of mezcal and the like and high proof Blanco tequila. Like that's
No.
what I have in my house because it's more flavorful.
Oh,
You
it's
really do taste more.
full test. All
Absolutely.
right.
You did taste it already.
I
I
did
knew.
taste it. It's really good. It's also got like, all right, so this is gonna sound really weird, but it's got a coolness to it. So you know, like certain waters have like this sort of they have a flavor, but it tastes wet. It
Mm-hmm, hmm.
tastes refreshing.
Yeah.
It's like wet.
It's almost
It's
like
a
an aloe
right.
thing or
Yeah,
something, right?
yeah,
Like a
maybe, man. Yeah.
cooling thing, like you
A
said.
sort of a cooling and a freshness to it. And this definitely has that.
I
And it's
agree,
sort of just
absolutely.
before the finish. You sort of get it. Just before the
Mhm.
finish of this, you sort of get that. It's really cool. What do you guys think? You like it? You like it? A little saltiness, like a little salinic.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would say that's from like the valley soil, that agaves have a little harder time growing in the valleys. And so sometimes that kind of leads to a little more complexity at the end. You know what I mean? It's an
Yeah,
interesting
you know,
thing.
it's always funny because we always talk about that is tasty. There's no salt in any of these. It's no salt
No.
in them at all that you do it. But there are compounds that are in some of the alcoholic beverages that mimic to your taste buds
Oh,
that sort
sure.
of saltiness or brininess to it.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Mm.
What do you? Yes, yes, Kavork. What's up?
Yeah, that's a great question.
And I'm just going to repeat it. Can you plant agaves, and how long does it take for them to mature? Um, Probably about the same amount of time. How long? How old are you now? You're not mature. You're not mature yet. So probably in a long time.
That is a really good question, though. So, I'm going to try to answer this shortly in a short fashion. So the tequila we just had, right? It's made with the Blue Weber agave, and the mezcal we're going to taste next is made with an agave called Espadin. And so even though we make mezcal with 40 plus types of agave, 85% of mezcal is made with this one called Espadin. Now the reason why that and the Blue Weber are used most often is because of a few things, but a big part of it is that they're easily cultivated. So, you have your little, in Oaxaca, they call it palenque, or they might just call it a little distillery in Jalisco. Um, but they're very easily cultivated. So, you have a field and you just like, if you've ever seen a picture of like planting in rows,
Mhm.
tequila plant or agave planted in rows, it's almost 100% that it's going to be either Blue Weber or Espadin agave. So really easily cultivated. Secondly is the growth time. So with tequila, the agaves are usually 5 to 7 years, I would say, for maturity. With the espadín, it's more like 6 to 8, unless you're way, way, way up in the highlands. Sometimes it's like a little more like 8 to 10.
Is it because it takes them longer to get to that maturity level?
Yeah,
But that
exactly.
slow growth really makes a difference too.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we're going to taste these two, and
Okay.
these are like the exact same agave from Oaxaca, but different regions in Oaxaca, a little bit of a different style. And I think you will definitely see that
Okay.
difference. Um, yeah, so they 5 to 7, 6 to 8, 8 to 10 in some areas. And then otherwise the yield of the agaves too with this. So usually you could say you could get probably a liter of tequila or mezcal with these two agaves for like 8 kilos of agave. Whereas some of these other ones it takes like 30, if that gives you a little.
8 kilos is how big? How much?
Oh gosh. Right. So I think I did the math before. It's like 28 pounds or something.
So a big turkey. Anything not to use the metric system. So it'd be like a big
Oh.
turkey. Got it.
So it depends on the plant. The plant, yeah. So because these are all different sizes too. I mean, there are some that can grow up like 600
Yeah, like
pounds.
some of these things are
Big.
made with like basically uncultivated or wild
Oh, sure.
agaves too.
Yeah.
So like, now you're hiking to find some of these things.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah,
go and then talk?
let's try. Well, yeah, let's try. Now the next one is a
Yeah, so the
mezcal.
next one is like our flagship product from Peloton. This is espadín, like I said, this agave, like again, about 85% is made with this agave, and about the same amount comes from Oaxaca. So what you're tasting right now is a really, really classic flavor profile for mezcal. I will say I'm really, really, I love this brand so much. We've been working with the same family for the whole time the brand has been out, which is again about 20 years. So this is the Santiago family. For a really long time, we would say the Maestro Mezcalero. His name is Cuthberto. He's like the father of the family. But his daughter Rosalba has been working with him basically her whole life, learning how to make mezcal. And sort of throughout the years, and taking over a little more of the job of making more of the distillate. And we just did a rebrand, like a label change, basically. And this new version of this espadín is her baby. She is doing it now.
She's in charge of the depth score.
Yeah, she raised the proof a little bit, so it went from 41 to 44, and she just refined a little of those heads and tails cuts. And honestly, it's like
She went deeper, like
delicious.
more heart. She
It's
tried to get
just,
more heart.
it's just, yeah.
Definitely tell the difference. I mean,
Mhm.
it's on the nose, it's obvious, and then when you taste it, it's almost completely different experience.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's sippable. It's, uh, I mean, these are price pointed. Like, you could put them in your cocktails, the tequila and this first mezcal. But I like sipping this one on its own too. It's delicious.
So the basic difference between the two is the type of agave we're using for these two.
Of the region, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
The
right. I forgot about
process as
that.
well.
Right.
Yeah. So
Now, what's the process different?
this is very, very traditional process.
Okay.
So they are cooking in a like a underground pit, basically. So
Okay.
they dig out a pit from the ground, line it with rocks and wood. And all these are, it's going to be different depending on where you are. All this is like really hyper local stuff, which is also what makes it really cool. Like they're going to use whatever wood is around them or whatever, they're not like, we're not importing things from here
Right.
and there. This is all about the culture and what you have,
Because you're not really even on this one. It's like they're on the finish. There's a very, very slight smokiness.
hmm
Very slight.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, it's not overpowering. It's not like some of them I had to just like, oh man, that's smoke.
yeah,
This is sort of elegant. It's like to say it's the salt on the steak, not the steak.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like in sort of like, is subtly there and it adds to the whole complexity of the spirit.
Yep. So I actually met Rosalba when I went down to Oaxaca last year, and she was telling me that that part of their process is that they use lava rocks in their pit. Lava rocks retain heat really well. So basically, what they do is they kind of make like a bigger fire, and they actually wait for it to go out. And then they put the agaves on and cover them, and then they cook for 4 or 5 days. And that's because they want you to taste the really mature agave. They want you to taste the process. They want you to taste everything. The smoke again is just a byproduct. They don't want that to be
Yeah,
the
that's not
thing.
right. That's not the thing.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of this now? Jumping now. You had your tequila. That's it. You're done. No more tequila.
Yeah, sorry.
But now you're into mezcal. Are you disappointed, or now all of a sudden you're getting all these new flavors? You like them? Yeah, yeah, I like it too.
Fun,
I think
right?
it's
Yeah.
really good. Okay, so now we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch brands,
Yes.
but the
So
next brands that we're switching to are more based on each producer.
I would
Correct?
say, yeah. So Leyendas, actually Fabriquero too. All these brands are actually owned by the same two guys from Mexico City, but they're just different. I mean, this is a Sotodat, so it's very different, but they're different purposes, basically,
Okay.
right? So with Peloton, they wanted to do, your kind of more
Flagship,
acceptable
like
agaves, but
workhorse.
like workhorse agaves, but like in a really good way
Yeah.
that you're gonna be able to
Refined
buy and not worry
workhorse.
about it. You know, like you're gonna be able to afford it. It's not like gonna
Yep.
break the bank every time. With the Leyendas, they really wanted to do like these are, I would say, our like sipping line of mezcals. And with this brand, I mean, they have something from almost every state that makes mezcal. And to my knowledge, there's not another brand that really does that. And so that's why part of the reason I took the job is because this brand really opened my eyes to the world of mezcal.
Okay.
And they really want to showcase different agaves from different regions, different producers, different traditions, different, you know. So, but the cool thing about this is, so this third one here, this is also an espadín. So it's the same exact agave that we just tried.
Okay.
It's also from the state of Oaxaca, but quite a different region. So this is a region called San Balthazar Galavila, which is up in the hills of Oaxaca, up the mountain basically. So it's a really interesting, very rural area. I went there as well last year, and literally you drive up to this like the sort of the entrance to the city. It's really interesting, and there's like a almost like a gate, like a city gate that you have to go through.
Okay.
And they're like these guys kind of on the road, just like kind of waiting for anybody who's coming through, like what's going on, like what are you doing in our town, kind of a thing. But our driver switched from Spanish to Zapotec as soon as we got there because the main language of this region is still Zapotec. So our producer here, Leo Hernandez, he's actually a bit of a celebrity in the mezcal world. That's kind of funny. But he's made for a bunch of different brands. He actually has his own brand, but we haven't gotten it here in Massachusetts yet. But essentially, with Leyendas, the guys were like, we want a really, really killer espadín, like something that really showcases the agave and just Mexico, you know. And so they went to Leo and they were like, Leo, make us a really good espadín. And so this is what we have here. So these are much smaller batches as well. I think this one is about 1,000 bottles. Sometimes it's half of that. And that's even a lot for this line of mezcal, actually. But yeah, so this is pit roasted. It's what we'd call Tahona crushed. So it's basically there's a giant, about 2-ton stone that's like pulled around like a little circle by like a horse or a mule, or like all different people use different things.
Okay.
And then it is open air fermented with wild yeast. That's again almost all mezcal, especially at least if it says artisanal or ancestral mezcal. And then at the end, this is distilled in copper pots. So it's similar processes, but a little different region. Like I said, this region actually is quite a high elevation. Takes longer for them to grow. So they're more like 8 to 10-year-old agaves rather than 6 to 8. And, it's also a little higher proof as well. So the first one you had was 44. That first mezcal, this is 50%. This is 100 proof. Yeah.
The thing about this one, when you first sip it, it's almost like it doesn't have any flavor, and then it explodes and there's nothing but flavor, and then that flavor evolves right to the finish.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps sort of like growing. So there's not like, it's like at first when I did it, I was like, wow, that smelled a lot different. I didn't think of, oh, there it is. And there's some really great flavors in this. But but the explosion of it is just really, really surprising. And it does get into like definitely into like almost that more like meaty or savory category.
Definitely. I agree with that.
Like sometimes a lot of these things go like vegetal.
Hmm.
This does not. This
Mm-mm.
goes to like this goes to like a savoriness.
Yeah.
That's
Let's
like
say
a
that when we
meatiness.
consider vegetal, it's like that is the note of it, you know? Not it's not like an accidental,
Right.
it's like that is it.
Right. Add a drop of water, Johnny says.
No. I'm just kidding. What I
Water.
always tell people with this
Ah,
stuff,
agua.
I always tell people with this stuff, first, taste it room temperature with nothing else in it. And then if you want to add something, feel free. These guys don't care. You know, they're like, just drink it however you like to drink it. That's what I say.
Thank you, John.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, in this region, actually, his what we call again the distillery called a palenque in Oaxaca. It's at the top of a hill, and you can just see like kind of rolling hills and all the different types of agave and like plants and flowers. That's very, very cool. So you know that all of that, you know, especially when you're always using wild yeast, it's gonna end up in your product, which is really cool, you know. And all the batches differ too, which is something we look forward to in mezcal, whereas in other spirits, you're like, why isn't this the way that the last bottle was, you know? But with this stuff, it's like, I wonder what this
Surprise.
is going to be. I'm excited.
Surprise.
Hmm.
Do they bottle other agaves or other mezcals in sole varietal types of agave? Yeah.
Oh, leyendas. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. There's more. There's more. There's a. I mean, as you said, there's a whole bunch of them,
yeah.
and they can blend them, but most people do a strict one type, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I feel, you know, it's funny because like I think when mezcal sort of probably first started, it's like you get whatever is ripe or mature in your field, you
Right.
know. So if that's more than
So that
one
might
type
be
of
like one,
agave,
right,
it's
right.
gonna be
Whatever agave
yeah.
is ready to go.
And actually, the next one is that, and we'll talk about that. But to your question, um, yes. So leyendas at any given time, I have 10 to 12 different ones of these. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We just have two here today because we got a lot of other stuff.
Because we don't let you drink them all. You can't drink all
Well,
of them.
yeah, they're all different agaves, all different regions, and it's really cool stuff. Yeah,
But see, this is okay. So we gave you these are the ones we gave you to start you on your journey.
exactly.
So now you can sort of like, I like that. Now I'd like to explore that a little bit more.
Yeah,
I
there
want
you
to
go.
know more about that one or whatever, because there are a lot. We have a nice selection of mezcals and tequilas, but there is more available. Just remember, one of the types of things is like if it's available to us, it's available to you. So anything that you want to try or anything you want to get into, we can order and have here. And
Exactly.
as long as MS Walker has it, we can
You
bring it
can
in.
have
And one bottle and one bottle at a time too. It's not like
exactly. Yeah,
it's
you
not
too
crazy.
can have
You
leyendas
too.
mezcal.
Wait, there's more.
But
Number
that was a
4.
great segue. So
Number 4.
yeah, now this one is really interesting. So you'll see on the bottle or on the little sign it says Pachuga. So Pachuga is a style of mezcal. Um, there is a little bit of a
They don't use mole in this one, do they?
no, no, no.
Okay. Because I'm doing, I have to
Some
ask because I'm allergic to nuts. So that's why I ask.
oh. I could not tell
Well,
you
we'll find out,
exactly
won't
what,
we?
but I don't think there are nuts.
That's okay. My insurance is paid up.
There's a little bit of a debate about how this category started, but essentially a pechuga is meant to be like a celebration mezcal or like a special batch. So if your particular village or town was having, you know, somebody's having a baby or they're having a wedding or something like that, like the whole town get together and sort of contribute to this batch of mezcal. So essentially what they normally do is they'll, you know, get whatever agaves are like
Right.
native for that area. And they'll gather native fruits and spices. And usually there's also a protein as well. Traditionally, it would be a chicken or a turkey. But depending on where you are, I mean, I've had them with
Lamb.
iguana and wild
What?
boar and like all kinds of really interesting things. This one is really different because, and it's not for any particular like modern purpose or anything. It's like a fourth generation family recipe that there is no protein. It's all about the citrus, herbs, and spices.
And by the way, and that's what explodes. It's like uh, what Buddha hand. It's that it's that type of citrus.
Yes. So
Really, as it explodes, I mean, there's different types of citrus, as everybody knows, right?
it's
If you didn't know it, you're getting to know grapefruit, tangerine,
Yeah.
orange, lemon,
orange,
citron,
lemon,
like all the things. Like Buddha hand. This is to me, it's got like that sort of flavor to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Yeah.
really came out.
No, this is actually vegan. Yeah, it's a vegan pechuga, which again, I say that
Surprise, vegan. We added meat. No, we didn't. No, this is all stuff that's you're okay. You're okay.
yeah. I mean, it's
Carol can have this one. She can't argue it.
no, it's not. And again, it's not on purpose. It's just the way that this family does it.
My theory on the cooking of the meat inside the still, it's like we're making a fire anyways, and who isn't hungry? So let's throw something in there. It's gonna cook no matter what, and then we can eat it after.
We should tell that. I mean, so I didn't explain the process either, which is usually during the second distillation, they actually hang a basket inside the still with, in this case, fruit, spices, herbs, or in other cases, also meat. So what happens is it doesn't, sit in the liquid, but it's so hot in there that it actually cooks whatever the meat is.
That's right.
In this case, you're getting a lot of like the essential oils
Right.
from the fruit peels and stuff like that.
I get a little worried when she said like somebody has a baby, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
No.
I got death squads, and then somebody's having a baby, and there's all of a sudden Pechuga. I was getting really worried there.
Don't worry. But this is what we would call also an ensemble, which is a blend. So this is an espadín.
Yeah.
And another agave, they're colloquially calling ancho, which is actually the next one we're gonna have. But it's an agave called cupreata. So
no, what do they cook them at the same time, and they do everything at the same time? Because I was just wondering if they did like one separate and the other separate, and then do like a blend afterwards.
No, they just
does anybody do that?
Agaves,
do they do that? Do they do different types and then blend them afterwards?
I've never heard about that, but that doesn't mean
we have a new mezcal.
Huh? Sorry.
Right, but they're blending them. They're blending them in the cooker.
Like usually,
the oven.
Cut up the agaves all together and roast them all together, and there you go.
Right.
So, and this is also from the state of Guerrero. So it's not Oaxaca. It's the state sort of next to Oaxaca. They make far less mezcal than Oaxaca, but they have a couple of pretty common agaves, and these are a couple of them. So. No, the blend, I mean, they could this with the new label, they did a little bit of a different blend actually, but usually, I mean, they'll keep it.
Is it usually around 50-50 type thing?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Okay.
They don't really, they just kind of go, they make what they
family secret
like, and yeah. What's funny is like, I've commonly used, our, again, citrus pechuga to do like a Negroni or something like that. Because, well, think about it. It's almost like the same idea as like a Campari. Like they don't tell you everything in it, right? Like that it's herbs and spices, right? But you don't know exactly what they are. And like you're tasting them. I definitely get a little bit of mint. There's usually some sort of like cardamom.
So you use this instead of the Campari or instead of the gin?
But
instead of the gin.
Works particularly well, citrus, and because of this other elements to it.
Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely. So this would be like a Mexican Italian Negroni.
Yeah. Oaxaca Negroni.
El Negroni.
Oh, this is not Oaxaca, but
yeah. Yep.
Oh, I've done a white Negroni.
Yeah, you can do the white
yeah,
Negroni. Yeah, sir, absolutely.
Different,
There's variations.
There's a sweet vermouth that's white, or clear, I should say.
John. So I'm really bad. I'm a very simple person. Like my cocktails are very simple. If I can't put like 2 or 3 ingredients together, forget it. John, however, is the guy who's like, okay, John, make me that.
Yeah. That's my jam too.
Yeah,
I love
right.
cocktails.
You know the Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin hamburger story, right?
Actually, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay. So Dean Martin has this elaborate hamburger. He makes a burger. And he's got this sort of elaborate recipe to make the burger, and he wrote it all down, and you can see it. And they said, Frank, do you have one of those too? Yeah. I call up Dean and say, make me a burger,
Oh yeah.
and that's his recipe.
Well, there you
That's
go.
why I go like, John, just make me a drink. John makes me a drink. Only on Saturday.
My God, love it. You want to go to number 5?
Let's go to number 5.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I think it's a good segue because first of all, it's also the state of Guerrero. And it's one of the same agaves we just had. So this is again an agave called Ancho, but the scientific name is Cupreata. A lot of brands actually list it as Cupreata. It's funny that names are all, different. I always say if you start to get into it and you really care about it and you really want to know, always just look for the scientific name, then you'll be able to figure
You'll
it out.
find it. Even if you Google it, you'll find it.
Yeah.
If you use
Well, that
if you use
too,
the
but that's
scientific
like,
name,
yeah.
right?
But usually, like with Leyendas, I mean, they're really, really transparent about absolutely everything. And I mean, on the label itself, there's a ton of information, but even on the website, it's mind blowing how much stuff you could learn from that website. It's really, really amazing.
I saw this chart like years ago of all the agaves, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy of all the agaves.
On the website here, they tell you the percentage of or the percentage of mezcal that's made with certain agaves. So, for example, this particular agave makes probably less, like just about 3% or less of all
So it's
mezcal.
not used a lot.
No, but most of the other ones in the line are like less than 1%. It's pretty crazy.
No.
Yeah, so this is a beautiful, like very, very common agave for the area. This is Mazatlan, and this is a Chicharo. Now, his family has been making mezcal for a really long time. Actually, this is Chicharo Obregon, and it's the same family that makes the Pechuga and a different one that we don't have here today. But the whole family is doing
Yeah.
on the process, so they all do different things. He's probably our youngest mezcalero, but he's awesome. This is a beautiful distillate. I think. I mean, everybody gets something a little different,
Yeah,
but
what are you guys getting this? Because I think this one could be a very what's that? It's more smoke than
think
the
so?
other ones, you think? Add a little water
Oh,
and that to
interesting.
make it jump. I didn't get a lot of smoke. What'd you
Yeah,
get? Peppery? Peppery, white pepper? Yeah, little green. There's a green in there. I don't know what I would categorize it as.
So I get more
Chili?
like tropical fruit from this one.
You get tropical fruit. Okay.
Like a cucumber.
We have not come to any common flavors yet. This is why I never tell people what they should taste. What's that? It tastes awesome.
Delicious. Yeah, I mean,
Does it taste like more? It tastes like more. Yeah, the nose is not. You're right. Nose is light.
mm-hmm.
It's very floral, very fragrant nose. Almost gets like a white flower or even a grape
Yeah.
on the nose.
It's like
Like a like
I get like a honeydew melon
Yeah,
kind of a deal,
yeah.
like that.
I can see
fruit.
that.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, a little
I didn't get
spice.
as much. I didn't get as much smoke on this, but I did get. Might have been the water.
Maybe.
Sometimes water releases other components.
Mhm.
Did you get it? Oh, I thought you said. Oh, maybe it was the water. Smoke on the water.
Maybe.
A purple fan. Is that what we're going with? That's good though. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a short. It not short, but it's a very clean finish to it.
Yeah.
Very clean.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Nice.
Pretty clean, a little spice to it. It's nice.
Yes. How are they distillating this? Distilling this? Is it copper pot? Is it everything under the sun?
So for all
Using wood and metal?
yeah, all of the mezcales on the table, it's a copper pot.
Okay.
We do have
I've seen some pretty cool setups.
yeah, we do have some other ones with like insane like
Wood.
we have one from well, yeah, in the north, they it's a very different thing. I haven't been to this one. This was a special batch, so I don't know what this still looks like, but They often do like, yeah, like they call like wood hats,
Yeah, they
like
would have on a
over
pot
the
over the
copper.
pot.
Or in San Luis Potosí, which is also a northern state, we have one that's they do like half in like a half of the distillate in like a copper pot still, and the other half in this like kind of old school brandy looking still.
Like an
Like
lambic cell, like an
yeah, like it's
lambic
a
cell
really
type thing.
interesting
Yeah.
looking thing. And they just like combine them at the end. It's like
Nice.
really interesting thing. But to your point, yes, we do have at the moment one what we call ancestral expression as well, which is when they distill in clay pots. But these are in the category that we would say is artisanal. So that means what artisanal means is you can use very few modern tools. Even copper pot stills are considered kind of modern, so that's like all they get. But with ancestral, you can use zero modern tools. So that in that case, they're always crushing agaves by hand, and at the end, they are distilling in clay pots as opposed to copper.
Do they keep the fibers in the agave when
Sometimes,
or is it
yeah.
run off?
Sometimes not. Depends on the one of them. And then when they usually keep them to use for other things, like they'll use it to like dry out and then cover the agave when it's cooking, kind of a thing. But they're always using that stuff for something. But
Nothing goes to waste. I mean, you
no,
got like the other part of this is you got to remember that in a lot these are farmers. These are farmers. They're taking something that has a limited life and they're extending that life into something else, which is by distilling it. Now it's good for basically ever, right?
yeah, yeah,
So they're in if you've ever dealt with anybody who is from a family of farmers or is a farmer, everything gets used. There
yes,
is very little waste involved.
yep,
There's usually a use. You go like, well, what's that? We didn't use that for. Throw it away. No, we're going to use it. We're going to use it over the fiber over that to stop some of the smoke or the heat from going out. I mean, there's just always something you could do to
absolutely,
make it better with just the tools at hand.
yep, definitely.
So
No waste.
no waste. Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to our next
What's
one
this one?
here.
This is
Yeah.
like really like this is really sort of funky. This next label.
Yeah. So this was well, first of all, this is sort of our old label.
Yep.
But it was a one-off.
I'm seeing it from the back.
Oh yeah.
In the back, it
The
was
back
like,
is really
yeah,
cool.
yes.
This was a special batch that was a collaboration with a Mexican street artist who goes by the name.
That makes sense on the
Yes,
back now.
yes.
Now it's
He goes
very
by the
graffiti.
name It's a Living.
Hmm.
And this is his
This
art,
artwork.
basically, yeah. So this batch is called With My Friends. The whole idea behind this is it's like the reason why we make and drink mezcal. It's to
It's a
sit,
social.
sit with
It's
our
social.
friends and enjoy and talk and
Mhm.
commiserate. And so this is from the state of Durango. Actually, the sotol that we're going to taste next is also from the state of Durango, and you'll understand why I'm telling you that right now. And it's made with an agave called cenizo. This is
How do you say that one again?
cenizo.
Cenizo?
Okay. Probably one of the more common agaves that you use in Durango. Um, so I think we should just start by smelling this one. This I think it's like 47. Oh no, 45. It's 45 on this.
So 90 proof.
90 proof. Pretty fun on the nose.
Yeah, it's almost like stone fruit or like a peachiness to it. What do you got? Blue cheese.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he said blue jeans, and I was like, really? Okay.
Wow, that's an
Denim.
interesting flavor note.
I don't get that off note though.
Mm.
All right. Well, I'm gonna taste it. Oh, that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's
Fun,
very
right?
different. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Before I say anything else, I'm trying to decide the order I was going to tell you guys this, but I want you to actually go to the next one real quick. We're gonna go back, don't worry. But I want you to go to the
Oh, you
last
should have
one.
told them that they drank all that one. No, listen, there's certain rules that you have to adhere
Oh,
to, and
I'm
that's like
sipping. Come
save
on,
some.
I'm
No, you're
sipping.
gonna say save some.
Oh, save some.
They're doing shooters back there. You gotta
Well,
watch these
okay,
guys.
okay. But I want you to smell that last one too, just
Smell
while
the
the
last
other
one.
one is fresh in your mind. Do you get
Now
a
this
little
one I
bit
get a
the
little
same?
more now this one I get a little bit of that funky.
All right. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you guys. So when I first started going down this Mezcal journey, one of the actually from Leyendas, one of the ones I really liked at first was a Cenizo agave from Leyendas, but the same one, exact same town from Durango. And I was like, oh, this is really interesting. I was like, there's almost like this like cheesy note to it, this sort of blue cheese thing going on. And I was like, I love this. It's super funky. I don't know. And for a long time, I thought it was the agave. And then I tried what the next thing we're going to have, which is called a sotol, which is not agave at all. And I went, wait a minute, these are
That's even
not
more.
even the same family. Like, what is going on here? And then I kind of did a little bit of a deep dive. I asked a bunch of people. I talked to our amazing national brand ambassador from these brands, who is born and raised in Mexico City, and she's been working with these brands for many, many years. And I learned about the effect that the climate has on your, end result here.
So it's like a cheesy
So,
climate,
well,
or is there's like a lot of stinky feet? I don't understand what's going on here.
essentially, in Durango, they have a desert type of climate a lot of
Okay.
times of the year. So literally over 100 during the day, freezing cold at night. And sometimes during fermentation, it creates like this, it almost goes through like a malolactic fermentation,
Huh.
like a lactic acid effect on your spirit. So that's how I figured out, oh my God, this cheesiness is coming from this really interesting thing that happens naturally in this region. So since we're on the second one, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. This is a spirit called sotol. So we were talking about the governmentally regulated categories. This is also a governmentally regulated category. Sotol can technically be from 3 states. So you have the most comes from the state of Chihuahua. Then you have some from Coahuila and also from Durango. But this is made from the Dasiliron plant or the sotol plant. They're also called desert spoon. If you ever go to like Texas, they have a lot of this distillate. I think they usually call it Texas sotol or something like that. Um, but it's a very, very similar plant to agave. It's about a fifth generation cousin of agave. It
Okay.
looks kind of similar, but usually the leaves are much more flimsy and like very much thinner. So like when it's shaved, it almost looks like and cooked, it almost looks like a burnt paper. Like
Okay.
very interesting. But it's yeah, the process is very similar. So you can taste the differences, but you can also taste the similarities in these, which is really fun.
What do you got? Do you guys like the sort of funkiness to this? It's definitely different, but I think it's really cool. I mean, the Sotol, I mean, I think Johnny's right. It goes to that. It's almost like that, like Parmesan
Hmm.
sort of flavor, but the finish is even like nut. It goes to like a nuttiness.
Yeah, I think the nose is a little funkier than the actual
What's that?
palate. Hmm.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's more mild than you think it's going to be when you
Yeah.
actually taste it from the nose, you know?
From the nose, you're thinking, oh my God, like, but you're in sort of the same range as like when you would talk
Mhm.
about like
No, I mean, sotol, even though it's only from 3 states, it can vary as much as mezcal. Yeah. I mean, I've had ones that were like straight, like spearmint. It's like nuts,
really,
like completely different thing. Yeah.
because these are almost like in that sort of like that same range of like rum agricole. Like you get into that.
Hmm.
It's not the same. I don't want to get mislead anybody. It's not the same nose and taste, but it that funkiness
The
is
funkiness.
very
Yeah.
reminiscent of that.
Yes, I agree. Totally agree.
Wrigley spearmint gum and Parmesan. Those are the two things that I was just thinking of combining tonight when I went home.
Yep.
Not orange juice and milk. I was thinking of that today now.
It varies. This
How
particular,
was Sotol made?
yeah,
And is the same? Is it the same as?
it does vary by producer and by region, but this one it's very similar process. So yeah, they pit roast the Soto plant and the same like open air fermentation, Tahona crushing method, that kind of thing. So this particular one, yeah, to me it tastes kind of like a really good mezcal from the north. Like it's reminiscent of this one for me. Like it's the
Right.
same kind of idea for me. Especially having tasted a lot of other Sotol and being like, this is really different stuff.
Yeah. Really good. Very interesting.
Hmm.
Really interesting. Uh, Any interesting cocktails using Sotol?
I did have one, not with this one, because I think this one just deserves to be drank just by itself. But I did have one. I was just talking about this Sotol that I tried that was like so minty. So this bartender actually made like a strawberry basil shrub kind of a thing with the
Okay.
Sotol, and the mint just came blasting through. It was really cool. It was really good. But this particular one, you know what I have done with this one and with a cenizo is to do like I usually do split base with tequila because it can be a little, overwhelming in flavor, but I've made like a dirty martini kind of a
Okay.
situation. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I didn't have to have blue cheese olives
Yeah,
to it.
but I've made them like with blue
Yeah.
cheese olives before.
You really enhanced it then.
Yeah, please.
Yes. A question? Can you
This one? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, I know. I'm sorry. I was trying to
jump
like
ahead?
show you the similarities between these. Yeah, this is an agave called cenizo. I think it's written on there if I'm not saying it in a way that
Yes,
makes
it
it
is.
easy to
It is.
spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's from the region of Nombre de Dios in Durango, so northern state of Mexico. Yeah, I gave you a little map. It doesn't show everything, but it does show some of like common regions just so you can
Yeah.
check it out. But yeah, and it was a really just like one-off batch with a Mexican street artist who goes by It's a Living is his name, and this particular batch was called With My Friends. So he did this artwork that's in the bottle. He just liked this particular agave, and so he wanted to.
Yeah. It's really cool. Definitely makes it. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
Pachuca be always be meatless.
I mean, I don't know. I couldn't say in the future, but I know that this family, this is the way they've made it for many. I mean, I think they're on 4 generations of making it this way. So
They haven't
yeah,
added meat yet, so
I
you're
mean,
probably
I
pretty
think
safe.
so. I mean, and it is very different than
Right.
any other brand's Pachuga, So yeah, yeah. I mean, some of them, I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of that style, to be honest. I mean, I'm also a vegan, but but I have tried them just because I want to try things and I want to see. But I don't know. I've never been like a huge fan of like adding stuff to it, mezcal, because I always think mezcal is so incredibly interesting by itself.
Right.
So I don't
But none of
usually go
these are
for
really,
like,
none of these were really like, like I said, because that's usually my biggest thing. People are, oh, I don't like mezcal because it's smoky. I
Mhm.
mean, there was, a couple of them had just like I said, like a little bit to them,
Mhm.
but it was more integrated. It wasn't popping as smoke,
Yeah,
so to speak.
exactly.
It was another flavor component. It
I would
wasn't really
say
popping
like,
as smoke. So I think, it they're not all that way. And I try to explain to people it's not all that way. And I think it's sort of neat that we get sort of taste them that way too.
absolutely. I mean, the espadín gives you a little kind of pop, I feel
Yeah.
like a rusticness to it,
Yeah.
but then it like smooths out
Right.
too.
Exactly. Does anybody else have any questions? You do? You do have many questions? No, I can't do your taxes. No. The map. Yeah.
Yeah, I gave you just this map. I mean, I don't have all of these leyendas with us, but these are like some really common regions to make mezcal. So Durango, like I was talking about before, the San
It's a
Luis
treasure map.
Potosí, Oaxaca, of course, and then Guerrero. So we have something from a lot of the places here.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, it's so condensed that it's hard to see how big this country really is.
Yeah.
But
All right.
you say final
Well,
question or
if
five
it's
more
five
questions?
more
Okay.
questions, then he's done. No, it's the final question, Kavork. Yes, go ahead. None of these are aged, are they?
No.
These are
Yeah, I mean,
maybe rested, maybe, but that'd be about it, right?
yeah, sometimes they'll rest in glass or like it's like they call them demijohns. Oh yeah,
Oh, you can do
there
this reposado.
there are brands that do it. I will say on the whole, it's not my thing because again, like this stuff is so amazing. Why are you adding, I will say that like, if a brand like, okay, so I was in Durango, not with this distiller, but with actually the guy on your map right here, from Durango. And these guys were telling me that they were thinking about sort of experimenting with some aging, but they're talking about, this really this wood that is like obviously native to the area, and it's actually the national tree of Mexico. They call it sabino. Ahuehuete is another name. So they're talking about, doing it that, and again, this hyper local stuff. They're talking about experimenting with this. I think that could be interesting. I still don't know if I think it needs it, but
Right.
that's interesting to me. When we're talking about putting this stuff in like a Kentucky bourbon barrel, I'm
Because
like, why are we
you're
doing
gonna
this?
get like
What are we doing?
you're gonna get some of those the bourbonesque
Yeah.
flavors,
Or even
which
like
maybe not.
an oak. I'm like, just drink tequila. I don't know. I'm like, leave the mezcal alone.
But the other thing is too is like if you even if you did that, even if you couldn't make a barrel out of that wood, you could basically do like, what some people do is put like basically putting staves in there
Uh-huh.
in the liquid just to sort of get a flavor. But it is a local flavor. I mean, you could do that in a bottle. You don't even have to do like any type
Yeah.
of big batch. Like if I was thinking that, I would just take one of these bottles and basically put a stick in it
Yeah. Yeah.
and leave it in there and see how it tastes after a while and see if you're getting something
Yeah.
that complements it, because you could do a whole thing and put it in a wood and it doesn't complement and it makes it bad.
Well, no, true. I mean, the reason I thought it could be interesting too is because again in Durango, they had this really cool little. It was like literally just like a block of wood that they had like carved out like a little center to and like a spout basically
Yeah.
that you would
Drink
taste
through
like
it
drink
basically.
mezcal off of. But it's this wood called Sabino.
Yeah.
Um, again that they just got from right the area. And so,
They don't ever do this. They did this because you were here to go, hey, let's see if she'll drink. Let's see if she'll drink out of the wood pipe
this
that we make.
like no, it was like literally this block that you could tell had
Yeah.
been like around for a long time. So, sometimes people are drinking from little
Right.
glasses, and sometimes we're drinking out of this thing, and you definitely taste the
Taste the
difference.
difference. Yeah.
Like it gave it like I mean immediately, right? It's in there for 10 seconds,
Seconds. Right.
but it gave it definitely like a softness to it. So that would be an interesting thing to mess around with. But again, I don't know. I think like the agaves are so infinitely interesting themselves, as well as like the
Yeah, but
everyone's own
how
tradition
interesting
and
do you have to
culture,
make it?
and
They're
like
already like experiment there
exactly.
as the making stuff.
That's my personal.
They could make them separately and then blend them afterwards, though, like the different agaves. I think that might be something interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, possibly some
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you, Jamie, for coming in and showing us these and going
Of course,
through that.
yeah, anytime.
And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. This was fun.
We're gonna say goodbye to all the people on Facebook. You can also get this wherever you get your podcasts, such as Spotify, wherever you go, you can get it. Just look for "It's the Liquor Talking." You can get it there, and also on YouTube. We actually have our own YouTube channel, and that's really cool, and it's really neat to watch us. But you should have been here because it was awesome.
You can't taste on the screen.
That's right.
I,
Oh
I mean, you don't have to leave. We're just
yeah,
logging
we're
in.
just. Well, I'll go through other stuff. Bye, everybody.